Well, folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching the cardboard life of Alpha Investments. Today, it's been a very long time since I've gone back to 2021, and I thought we would do our first Monarch first edition box opening video on this channel. I don't even know how long it's been. I don't remember the last time we even opened something like this, but you know what? It's a good time to look back, reflect, and the kicker is, it's still not a bad product. But boy, the history of this product and what happened in the beginning and what people think happened, and of course the markets and the public's opinion on a product like this. I don't know if there's ever going to be, because some people ask me, Rudy, do you just, let's be straightforward, quick and easy. Do you ever think there's going to be a time that Monarch returns, it becomes a very hot thing? And my response to that was, the only thing that's going to make this product really desirable or change financially is if a new product releases, and there's our foil common, gear, rare, and token. The only thing that's going to change the market or shake the history of this product is you would need a new release that interacts, or maybe undo some sort of living legends or future rule changes, or you would need something that makes, oh, was that the foil? Did I skip the foil? No. I was like, wait a minute, do we actually have, I can't even tell. So that's a rare. I was like, I don't even see the foil in that pack. Do we not get a foil in this pack? Is hide and seek considered, I think it's considered the foil. There's oh my goodness, the foiling is so subtle on that, I couldn't even tell. We would need something in the market to create a new era of demand and excitement and people wanting the cards. I believe, God, the art on this thing. I never thought the product was a bad product. The problem was, I did it again there, foil common. I'm so used to the pack order being different. By the way, before we get too far on this video is for my patron. They just go under the name I Choose You, all the way in Dover, New Jersey there. The name was not listed on there. I don't know if they want to remain anonymous, but foil common. Obviously, I appreciate the continued support. I know you've been waiting probably 60 days for this video. These are the last couple videos left in the queue when we set it all up. And I hope we get some craziness, because again, there's... Foil common. Oh, not doing real great. There's not a lot of plans to do more Monarch and everything. I do have one video in the next week or so also coming for actually, Tales of Aria first edition throwback there. I haven't looked at Tales... Oh, God. Still a crazy product, man. I haven't looked at Tales of Aria or anything. I don't think I've opened a box of Tales. I think it might be years. That's how long it's been on this stuff, man. It has been absolutely crazy. Golly, we are not doing good in this video, everybody. Wait, do we even have any Majestics? I don't even think we've hit a Majestic. Like, holy smokes. This is like one of the worst starts to a box opening. Wait, we had another box opening. It's like, wait a minute, am I screwing something up on the pack order? I was like, common word. I was like, I don't even have a Majestic. Oh, okay, finally. Soul Food! Always reminds me of Soul Glow, one of my favorite movies. If you know, you know. Anybody know what Soul Glow's from? Favorite movies? Let's see how old you guys are. Give you hints, an 80s movie. It's one of my favorite when I was younger. I used to love watching that movie. Oh my goodness, it was just such a fun thing, man. Different era, folks. Different world, everybody. Rare and rare. Valiant Thrust. Brings back memories. But that's just the first thing I want to talk about this video is just overall the entire internet and the internet memes from the past of Mon to 1K. Unfortunately, I do not think that is a realistic thing. I don't think it's ever going to happen. That's just, look, I'll be short and simple and blunt with it. This product peaked at $750 a box. It was one of the most volatile, dramatic things. I even ran my patron sale. I was like, okay, at $750 a box when I set up the sale, I'm going to do 2 boxes, promo card, cold foil, playmat, and everything. And instead of $750 a box, I'm going to drop the price to $450 and then $50 for the playmats and promos. So at the time, I thought that was a great thing. Well, so did everybody else because it sold out immediately and went crazy. But the future had very different plans for all of us. God, I love the art of this stuff. Jesus, brings back memories. Unfortunately, the future's plans were very different, everybody. A lot of information and some of the non-LSS companies. That is a cold foil. Oh, God. I was like, please tell me it's not a cold foil. I saw that in the corner of my eye. I was like, oh my God. I was like, please don't be in. I was like, that is a cold foil flippin' common. That is flippin' disappointing, man. So, anyways, that is, so the problem is this particular product has such a past and a history. I don't know if anything else can really change that or overcome that. Hey, tear limb, we got a second Majestic there. Which is why my opinion is, unless LSS goes out of their way to do some interaction with the old Monarch or some new format or something that interacts. Oh, that's actually, okay. I was like, wait a minute, you see that? That's a full Majestic. Okay, that's our first full Majestic of the whole flipping video. Holy smokes. I personally don't see that really happening. I feel like the company and everybody just wants to move on from the infamous Monarch situation. Some of the other companies that were a part of this in the past. Oh, I love the tome artwork on that. Still think that's awesome. I just think everybody wants to move past it. I don't think there's any desire to want to go back and rehash it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Can you blame everybody? So, exude confidence. And yes, folks, what does that say? That is a generic, everybody. And I know. And today, 2025, the conversation regarding power level and generic and everything, and the expensive Majestics and modern Flesh and Blood boxes is always, I don't want to say controversial, but it's definitely a talking point. It's definitely a modern day conversation. So that's just want to start the video off with that. So we're about to finish our first box of Monarch here in our case. So far, I'm going to call it very average, very boring. All right, we got a Beacon of Victory. And the last 3 packs in box 1, looks like we're going to end box 1. Unless we get a legendary or some sort of fabled or something crazy, I don't think we're going to really have a blowout box 1, everybody. Which in this era, this was Deep Root Evil. At least we got a Majestic out of it. I feel like the future in modern Flesh and Blood, with modern print runs, the new era, there's no first edition, unlimited edition. Things have changed so much. By the way, that's a great rare. I thought that was Genesis. That's Glisten. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Timu, Timmy, Rudy over here. I do miss some of the early stuff, though. I do miss. I know everybody can make fun of me all you want. Early Flesh and Blood, when the company... Again, I just kind of remind everybody out there. I had some messages the other day. I think it's a good time. I don't want to really make a whole video on it. I had some messages. And some other YouTubers were talking about how the hype man Rudy, with Flesh and Blood doing well again, is because of me. First of all, no. I haven't been the one to bring Flesh and Blood into this crazy new market. This is all James and the company and the management. I haven't done any of that. I discuss it. We have it in videos. We do some box opening, but I haven't really done anything crazy to create a hype scenario. And then number 2, I had some weird messages about a week ago of people asking, if Rudy had never created the Flesh and Blood first edition versus unlimited, and Rudy had never created that kind of business model, Flesh and Blood would have been better off. So I'm not really sure who's starting kind of some of that. I can't take credit for the design of the game. I don't know why people think so. Again, I, from the very beginning, wanted to just help. I thought the people behind it were very good people, and I thought they had a really good product. And I wanted to help bring it to market and let people, luminous, to pretty much help people discover the product and just know it exists. But no, the internet and the news-related cycles and anything you hear, I did not design Flesh and Blood. I cannot take any credit for the engineering of the game. I did not create the first edition unlimited edition. I liked it. I was on board with it. I thought it was a great idea. None of that was me. I'm not sure who is starting that conversation point or why people are saying that I engineered all of that. I don't know. It was kind of weird when I got a couple messages on it. And I was like, what? After all this time, randomly people are like, where is that coming from? Like, who's... So I just want to at least lay that out for the 5 people that are Flesh and Blood Monarch fans. I know there's probably going to be a very low viewed video, but it's important to kind of discuss some of these topics. Really? I saw that in the corner of my eye. I was like, that is a cold foil stubby hammers. That's disappointing. I saw it in the corner of my eye. I was like, oh. So, anyways. As far as moving forward with Flesh and Blood, everybody. Ooh. Look at that nice spilled blood. That's a nice Majestic. I actually think the game now, I think the game's in a really good spot. I think what's going on, I'm not sure specifically what the turning point was. Oh, I love the artwork on that shadow. Always those are creepy Aliens versus Predator kind of artwork. I'm not sure 100% when or why we had such a hard shift in Flesh and Blood. As far as the products, like, there's a very distinctive line, and everybody knows it. And it happened after Heavy Hitters came out. Like, we went from, like, Outsiders and Bright Lights and stuff, but right when Heavy Hitters came out, something shifted into Misty and Rosetta on, I don't know if it's the design, the print runs, the power level, the new mechanics, maybe the heroes, the type. I don't know specifically what or when what happened behind the scenes, but everybody can feel it. We just don't know why. Obviously, there's wait. That's the second cold foil. Oh God, it's a common again. Really? I kept thinking this was a majestic one. God. All right. I'm not okay. That's still a 2 cold foil box, everybody. We can't really. Okay. That's still, even if it's commons, that's still a 2 cold foil box. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a double cold foil box, everybody. So, anyways, so I want to, I'm not sure what caused it, but it happened. It's similar to everybody talks about now, the turning point with Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, Pokemon, Scarlet Violet, when SVO5 hit. All of a sudden it went from everything's garbage, and things change. It happens with every, Rouse the Ancients. That might be one of my favorite hits in the video. Ooh, that's a foil majestic Rouse. I loved that card. Okay, wow, okay. That totally just stopped me in my tracks. So, I think things are going to continue on the path they're on. And dude, I'm telling you guys, the sky's the limit with Flesh and Blood right now. The company is just on fire. Like the release cycle, the secondary market with even sealed. The singles market, the majestic market. I know the majestic market. Rouse the Ancients. Wow, look at that. It heard me talking about it. We got a second one. I mean, just absolutely unbelievable. And again, if I had to talk about this 1 or 2 years ago, I would have never predicted it. Absolutely not. I would have never, ever predicted that we would be in the Flesh and Blood market that we're in right now. Because 1 or 2 years ago, going through, Outsider, which again, Outsiders was fine. And hot take, laugh at me all you want. I didn't really think Bright Lights was a bad set. I was always a fan. You guys know, Azalea and Ranger and Mechanologist were my favorite classes. And so, I'm a little biased there. And again, I am not a professional Flesh and Blood Tier 1 tournament organized play guy. I literally know the basics how to play the game. And I enjoy the artwork, the cards, and the creative things they come up with. And, well, many of you all the same way, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't care if you just collect the cards if you like the art. Many of you guys just buy it and want to have a complete set and collect all the cards. Many of you guys just want to keep the sealed product and flip it. Many of you guys just literally like to sell singles. Ooh, Bolt and Blade. Everybody has different reasons. That doesn't make anybody better or worse than anybody. It's just, that makes a healthy market. It's called an ecosystem. I know, I learned that in middle school. And, that's a fun thing, man. It's good to have everybody having different types of enjoyments in a card game. So, we are now officially halfway through the video. Clock it. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful Rip spine there. Ladies and gentlemen, 14 minutes in the video. Halfway through cracking packs already. My patron over here, the Mr. I Choose You. I sound like a Pokemon thing. I choose you, Pikachu. Honestly, the video's okay. I'm not super proud of this video so far. The best thing about the video, I like my foil Majestic Ancients there. And of course in box 2, well, box 2, at least we had a double cold foil, but we're at triple cold foil common in this case. Sealed case, same boxes. I mean, I'm hoping we don't go entire Monarch case here with literally just cold foil commons. Like, that would be absolutely devastating. Like, the big chase of this set is still going to be like cold foil. There's a couple Majestics, couple bucks, but the big chase in this product is going to be cold foil legendaries, or obviously, fables if we're so lucky to get one. But that's really what we're chasing right now. Is we want some of the there's still believe it or not, there's still cards that are actually have secondary market single value and demand. It is still a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Which brings us to the next topic. I know we're already halfway through these videos, but... So, Rudy, can you explain why a lot of the Majestics are all sought after and playable? The Legendaries are like tier 1 requirements. And Rudy, why are the Fables weird, fun, beautiful, unique, but are always unplayable? First, I don't think every Fable's unplayable. I just like to lay that out there. I don't think they fit. I think the proper phrase is it feels like Fabled don't fit in most decks. Ooh, I love the artwork. Oh, Sonata. Anybody remember this? Oh, God, I forgot about that artwork, man. I think it is kind of a strange thing that each set has one Fable. And the Fables in most sets don't really have any impact on the actual gameplay. Well, and a lot of them have kind of collapsed so much in value because, well, ooh, all right, Mark of the Beast, Foil Majestic. Again, Foil Majestics are very rare, everybody. Oh, Lumina, okay. Another double Majestic pack. That's actually incredibly rare in Flesh and Blood. This isn't Magic where you get like 10 Mythics and 15 foils in a box, or a single pack. That was actually pretty rare and pretty impressive. But anyways, yeah, it's always been a very... Flesh and Blood's always battled that. We know the company. I know James is aware of it, but you have to understand both sides. And before I explain my opinion, understand, everybody, I don't have an answer to it. Okay? So if you guys think I know or have an answer to why, I don't. So I'm going to give you guys a speculative Rudy answer, but I'm going to let you all know I don't have the solution to this problem. The Fabled issue is a real thing, okay? Now, unless you create something... Ooh, Spilled Blood, Foil Majestic. That is a nice little hit there. Okay. I mean, right now, if you... Okay, let's play pretend here, everybody. If they put a Fable, okay, and it's a tier 1 requirement in every... Ooh, there exude. Requirement in every deck. Everybody's gonna require what? A 1 of? A 3 of a Fabled? Right? Oh. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the most gorgeous feet finder, only feet, only fans, Rudy's left toe. Ladies and gentlemen, that does say legendary. Phantasmal Footsteps, one of the most infamous Monarch legendaries. Oh, yeah. There we go. That is the best hit. Now, somebody give me a price quote today. Back in the day, if this was 2021 or 2022, I will be very honest with you all. I think that card was like 500 or 1,000 or 1,500. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are going to say $2,000. Back in the peak, dude, cold foil commons were like $100. And like cold foil legendaries were like 1,000 plus. Like, you don't understand, folks. Like, back in the day, like, some of these prices were insane, everybody. So, somebody give me a price quote today. Is Footsteps still 100? Is it 200-300? Is it $20? Am I wrong and it's $100 million and I should just delete the video now and leave the country? I'm not really sure, but it definitely has a very wild history, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that pricing, but... Alright, so back to the Fable thing, because we're almost done with box 3, everybody. Time flies when you're cracking packs with old Captain Timmy Rudy over here. We churn and burn and look for the goodies, everyone. So, if they make a Fable card that's a requirement in every deck to even be competitive, you're going to have some sort of outrageous $10,000 card, and everyone's going to be angry because they can't win without having this overpriced card. And then, oh, well, I'm going to proxy everything. Then it goes into proxies, and people get very agitated. The game piece army you get a very distorted, corrupt problem situation when a playable card becomes, well, impossible to get or gets gatekeeped by some outrageous, $10,000 plus price. Okay. Now, I've always said there's ways around that. Ooh, tier limb from limb. That's the second time we pulled that today. I believe you have a Fabled, you can make it rare, but make it do bizarre stuff or make it very unique and whatever. But I don't think there's anything wrong with making it playable. Another deep-rooted evil. I don't think there's anything wrong with making it playable and desirable. But I think if you're going to do that, I think the Fabled's going to probably have to have a similar card that's cheaper or available for people to play with, so that you kind of keep some sort of balance, and kind of, or maybe like an alternate art version, kind of like the Command and Conquer situation. Like there are cheaper Command and Conquers, which some people still think, oh, it's still too expensive. Then there's super expensive cold foil chase Command and Conquers, right? So you kind of have to do this very strange balancing act, because you can't just make a playable card 10 grand, and everybody loses if you don't have a 10 grand Arclight. And that's where you get into the conversation, which is why I said at the beginning, I don't have an answer to it. I have no idea how to solve the infamous Flesh and Blood Fabled card situation. Like, it used to be back in the day, hitting a Fabled was a big deal. God, my brain freezes every time I see a back-to-back card that's the same. And I know in Fab, you got the different pitch levels and everything, and the stripe, but my brain freezes every time I see the same card back-to-back in a pack. So it just feels like a glitch in the Matrix. It always just feels really weird, everybody. So we're ending the video here, the fourth and final box in the next 5 minutes. Overall, you know, the fact we hit those footsteps as the cold foil, the videos are pretty much good, in my opinion. I think that kind of saved the video. So, because, I mean, what? First edition Monarch? I mean, what are these things at 100 right now? Like, I haven't even price checked these things in a while. So I would assume, what, 90 plus tax? 80 plus tax? I mean, something like that. So let's say these boxes now, with tax and shipping, are sitting at what? 80 to 100? Ooh, that's a really beautiful tone. That might be one of the most beautiful Majestic we've had, next to the old, the Ancients. Okay, that's a really nice little surprise there. That's a fun little hit. And like I told you guys earlier, I'm sorry. I know many of you guys asked me, Rudy, do you think they'll ever go back to the high of $7.50 a box and I can sell my boxes and make a profit and everything? And I'm sorry, I don't. I don't think the market. I think as time goes on, I do believe the boxes and the age, the prices will go up. Because that's pretty much, it has nothing to do with Monarch, that's just what sealed product does. But no, I don't see a path where Monarch is going to be over $1,000 a box, I'm sorry. I think the long-term price of this is pretty much between like $100 and $200 a box. Unless, of course, the company kind of interacts, interferes, changes that trajectory by actually doing something or impacting the cards or something in the product to kind of kickstart the set or really another deep-rooted evil. It's like the fourth one. So without the company interaction, which I don't think they want to, I don't see it. I'm sorry, everybody. I know that's not what a lot of you guys are hoping for me to hear or pump, but you know, I still have Monarch First Edition. You know, I kept, you know, you guys know that. Everybody knows most of the money I made on this, I turned around and I timmied out, and as the price was going down, I started buying all the Monarch First Edition when it dropped down to $200 a box. And there's videos of that and me buying it, and well, unfortunately, come on. Stubby hammers. 2 of the exact same cold foils in the same case. Come on, really? Well, I guess 5. I guess I really can't complain, ladies and gentlemen. I guess 5 cold foils in a case of 4. I guess that's really not a bad thing, huh? Or am I greedy Rudy? Ooh, I'm still blood. Finally good. Maybe I'm just being greedy Rudy about it. You know? So that's kind of where we stand on this. So as we get ready to wrap up this video, let's talk about moving forward here. Lumina Ascension. Remember this card, everybody? Yeah, I think that was a specialization, right? Wasn't that a Bolton or Kane? Yeah, Bolton. That was a special. I think it was. Wasn't that an old specialization card? So moving forward. So for those of you stuck around, now we talk about the future and the goodies. We have high seas coming. Similar to Final Fantasy. Similar to Pokemon, my concern right now is overselling and having problems and people just being furious. Because there's no really, in this particular market, there is no risk of not selling anything. No matter who you are, what store you are, whatever you're selling, it's just, you know, the market is so strong, there's so much demand, there's just, it is what it is, and everything's going to sell out, prices are not cheap. So, where does that leave us with high seas? And ironically, I've been working on this thing with the Gem Keeper for 6 months and the new stuff. Well, the timing of everything is definitely, it's definitely quite beautiful and concerning at the same time. Because, well, High Seas is launching. Rudy's Gem Keeper puzzle scavenger hunt is happening. And, well, the market's going absolutely bananas. The power level and uniqueness, new heroes and everything looks really, really good in High Seas. The collectors and evil investors are super pumped about this golden pack that you can pull old things and new things. And you ready for this? Well, allocation numbers are being handed out with distribution, and it is 100% confirmed that, well, they are allocating the new Flesh and Blood set. And apparently, some stores only got like half to a third of what they even ordered, and some people ordered like 120 boxes, and stores got like 36. So not extreme. Oh, I love the art on Soul Shield. Oh, she's so beautiful and calm, and the colors and everything. The white with the hair and the clock. Oh, such a beautiful card, everybody. You know, obviously, as with everything in history, with all the goods and bads that happen in human history, I wish there was a way to go back and change some of the things that happen with Monarch and the company. You know, and I know, James and the company, there's ways they could go back and not work with certain partners and people in the Monarch era. Obviously, they would do it. But, you know, a lot of things happen, and there's nothing we can do. And we all need to move forward because the future is, well, incredibly bright. So the reason I'm saying this is, you know, I got a reason. You know, hear me out, everybody. The reason I'm saying that is because the future is incredibly bright. And I feel like a lot of people are still stuck on 2021 with Monarch Tales Everfest and the market conditions and everything happened. And I don't think people are understanding or accepting, well, how good things are. Like, if you haven't bought Rosetta or Misty or even, you know, God, Lay the Hunted if you can find it. I mean, you have no idea how amazing these products are. And I think that's a really big takeaway that people are just underappreciating. That's all. And people are using price memory of 3-4 years ago of an era of like Monarch to just say, oh, Flesh and Blood. Bleh. I mean, that's ridiculous. Every card game in history has events and sets and things that had problems or didn't go ideal. I mean, Flesh and Blood is one of the few card games that came out, went through the entire COVID disruption, disaster, world's disrupt. I mean, just everything was thrown at Flesh and Blood that you could throw at Flesh and Blood to make it fail, make it screw up and everything. And here we are, over 5 years later, and Flesh and Blood continues to be like this, you know, the underdog that everybody ridiculed from day one. And here it is over 5 years later, and it's doing better now. No joke, and I stand by this. Flesh and Blood is doing better now than, honestly, I think it's probably ever done. Like, I feel like the Flesh and Blood market right now, and again, you're talking to a guy, I don't even have any Hunted for sale. I don't even have any Rosetta for sale. I don't even have any, what am I skipping? Hunted, Rosetta, oh, Misty, and of course, what, heavy hitters? I already sold it on patrons. I used to have it on my monthly list of patrons, and they wiped me out. I don't even have any. Like that's how much stuff has changed. And a lot of people just, they want to be angry. They want the world to burn. And they don't want to accept that things change. And guess what? Not everything changes for the worse. Guess what? Many times, things, not only do they change, but they get better. They learn. See, that's the difference. It's not if Flesh and Blood releases a bad set or something went wrong or... No. It's how does the company handle it? It's what happens in the future. And it's how do they move forward? How do they adjust? What do they learn? Are they doing it better or worse? And that leads us to today. On the verge of a new Flesh and Blood set. Properly printed. High demand. High allocation. And yeah, we're like 2 weeks away. I'm getting ready to launch the promo video for the spoiler card. And yeah, for the first time in years, LSS and James has honored me. We are doing a cold foil, extended full art. And it's graded for free. It's already slabbed, graded, and everything. Laser engraved, subgrades, metal, everything. So even even patrons, you can get like, oh, if we do the promo, like, this stuff's going to be crazy. Not only that, a lot of you are going to find cold foil puzzle pieces. And those puzzle pieces are going to be worth money once people understand what's going on. That's all. Big flush and blow. So again, buckle up, everybody. The next 30 days is crazy. Remember, we got Pokemon launching next weekend, Flesh and Blood the following weekend, and then, of course, we have the insane Final Fantasy, 7 days in a row of different sales of Final Fantasy. So don't go into debt. Don't overspend. Everybody, there's a lot happening in the summer. It is one of the strongest markets I've ever seen. So please be disciplined. I know it's fun and exciting, and just, make good life choices, everybody. Hope you all have a beautiful day.